Hello, this is Kenny. This is my '69 Honda CL350. I bought it in February of 2007, and it's June 2013 right now, so about 6 years. I bought it for $350, and it was all in a bunch of baskets, pretty much torn apart except for the engine. And I spent that winter putting it together and have since done a few improvements. Big thing was last year I gave it a paint job, got it back to the original factory paint, did a base clear on it, automotive quality, and came out looking pretty sharp. A lot of work though. The engine wasn't taken apart when I bought it, and it was froze up. I had to unseize it, but it's been running pretty well. I put some electronic ignition in it. System, I forget the name of it now. I'll have to look. It's under the seat here. It's called a neutronic electronic ignition. And I'll show you under the seat while I'm here. I redid the upholstery this winter, and one thing I did was take some of the old foam and put it over those holes so that you saw original pink coral colored foam instead of the newer blue stuff. There's the new seat cover. Came out pretty good. What else have I done to this thing? One thing I'm looking for is a new rear fender. This one's in good shape, but it's not the original '69 fender. That would have some horizontal struts supports going across it, where this one doesn't. Carburetors I've rebuilt and cleaned up. They've got really good diaphragms in them. They're called constant velocity slide diaphragm carburetors. Gravity fed fuel. But pretty good looking bike, if I do say so myself. One thing about the '69s, there's a few things you can tell. Well, for one thing, this is a CL, also called a Scrambler. It has the high exhaust pipes. If you had a CB version of this, you'd have pipes that go on each side underneath the bike, one on each side. I have a skid plate I just bought for this. Two on the bottom, that would be a CL thing. Also on the Scrambler, you've got a support bar that goes across the handlebars there. This is a '69. It's titled as a '70, but back then they used to title the motorcycle in the year that it sold, so must have sold in 1970. It is a '69 K1. On the tach, the RPM's redline at 10.5. I think later in the year, or in '70 maybe, they moved that down to 9,800, I believe. Let's see what else. Oh, one thing I learned just recently on the wheels, you'll see between where there are actual spokes, there are kind of fake holes in the drum there that aren't really doing anything. They're just molded in. Those were a '68, '69 CBCL thing. Went away in '70. Right now I'm having some starter problems. It does have an electric start kickstart, so it'll kickstart fine, but the electric starter's not working. I'll have to take that apart and buy a rebuild kit for it. The tank was NOS when I bought it off of eBay, and a pretty good price on it. I forget exactly, but around $200. It was in gray primer, and let's see what else. I've redid the electrical turn signals so that you have running lights now, which means when you're not using them as a signal at night when you have the headlights on, they're on solid, so it gives the bike a little more visibility, which on motorbikes can never hurt. Had a woman a few years ago sew up a little pad for this sissy bar that I found for cheap. Did a little Elvis thing on the back, taking care of business. The rack, I think, is from a different bike, later '70s, but fits well. a Honda anyway, but I forget which model. I'm working on getting some year of manufacture plates put on, which means if I can find a sticker that says 1970, I have some old plates from that era, and you can register those at the DMV, not have to pay registration fees or whatever they call that every year, renewal fees for your license. Anyway, muffler, I've had to patch a few things on the bottom of it, replace some baffles inside. You can't find those mufflers anymore, and they're all sort of one, well, they're two pieces, but the top of the muffler is welded into the pipe there, so they're hard to find, so you just have to repair them. Anyway, that's it. My Honda 1969 CL350 K1 Scrambler here in Seattle, Washington.